What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. We're back. Um, if y'all don't know us already, we'll just introduce ourselves. My name is Don, and this is my co-host,
Bridget.
Bridget. Mm. So, if y'all missed us, we missed y'all too. We took a little bit of time off to end out self care month for September. So, we had to do a little bit of self care ourselves. So, Bridge, what did you do for your self care?
Um, my self care was just like listening to my body when I needed rest, taking naps, taking care of my health, like either going for a walk, getting my regular routine checkups at the doctors, going to the gym, doing therapy, just keep make sure my mental health is good. That's all I did for self care September.
So I did something that I normally do not do. Um, I allowed my wife. Oh, by the way, we got married.
Congratulations.
I allowed my wife to convince me to go get a pedicure. I don't do that. Normally,
Yes.
I don't get pedicures. However, she was like, "You need to get a pedicure. You might as well try it." So we went and got a pedicure. Then we got married. That was the best of my end of my self care awareness, or self care September. And then we went on our honeymoon in last week, last Thursday. We went on a honeymoon. Um,
Yes.
so I would love to tell y'all all about where we went, what we did. However, me and my wife is actually going to have a show coming up. It's called 143 Trips. So after you're done watching the show today, go online, go on YouTube, head on over to at 143 Trips, and we'll have an episode. Our first episode is going to be telling you all about our honeymoon and where we went. So tuned in there.
Okay.
But enough about September. Let's talk about October. Two things are going on this month. Two important things: breast cancer awareness and domestic violence awareness month. So we're definitely going to talk about both of those. Um, Interesting fact that I found about breast cancer awareness is 1 in 8 women, or 13% of women, develop breast cancer. So that's how important it is to take care of the tetas and get them checked out.
Yeah.
And not only women, like guys can get breast cancer. Like it's not unheard of. It has happened. It's not common, but why be the first person to get caught with the uncommon?
Right.
Um, so
I did have a
I
friend
know.
pass away. I want to say she was 20 from breast cancer.
Wow,
Yep.
wow. And the crazy thing is, most women think they don't have to start getting their mammograms until they're 40.
Mhm.
But as you just said, you have a friend that lost their lives at 20.
Yep.
Um, I had a friend of mine who was 30, and even though she survived it, she had to have and I know I'm going to say this all wrong, double mastectomy. She had to have both of her breasts
Mhm.
removed in order to survive it. So if you catch it early, if you go to the doctor and they catch it early, um, then you have a better chance of surviving it. Mama and Granny had it. I was told I have to wait till I'm 20, till I'm 35. No, Ange. So that's probably for that's probably more so for insurance purposes. But since you have it, um, the it's in your lineage, they will do it as soon as you request it.
Yeah.
They won't offer it until you're 40 or 35, 40. But if you ask for it, they won't turn you down. They'll go ahead and give it to you.
Yes.
You know, not to put my wife's business out there, but she's gonna have hers done, and she's not 40 yet. Um, so she's definitely gonna have it done. I'm urging her to go ahead and have it done, just to have it checked. And you there, if you look online, there's ways that you can check yourself. just in the
Yes.
shower. There's ways that you can check. So
Yeah, but
it's
when any woman, whenever you go get your, depending on your age, usually you get a pap smear every 2 years, where they check for like cervical cancer. They're supposed to do a breast exam with it.
oh, Andrew, we gotta catch you up. I'm sorry, you just joined us. Yes, we got married. We got married. We got married on September 23rd. See, we gotta talk more, Angie. We don't talk enough.
Yes,
But
but with a pap smear, when women go get their pap smear every 2 years, your OBGYN should be doing a breast exam with your pap smear to check for any
okay.
lumps. If they do find any lumps, then that's when they might schedule you to get I want to say it's a mammogram to
Oh,
actually
so
check.
it's the actual mammogram that you have to wait for, not
Yes.
just the
Yeah,
checkup, not the.
and that's either if it's like hereditary in your family or if they actually feel lumps in your breast where they check to see if even if the lump is actually cancerous. But what you do is you get a breast examination either every 2 years as you get older. Like my OBGYN, I do a pap smear every once a year where they check for like cervical cancer and then he does a breast exam to see any lumps regarding like breast cancer. So if your OBGYN isn't doing a breast exam with your pap smear, then you need a new OBGYN.
So okay, so I'm learning now. Now I'm getting educated. So the mammogram is something more evasive than just
Yes.
checking for lumps.
Yeah, that's not something that they usually just do for anybody. It's usually only if they feel a lump in your breast where they're concerned and they want to check for actual cancer.
Okay. So I thought that the mammogram was what they automatically did.
Yeah,
That's
no,
why I was like, that's why I was thinking 40. Like I thought that women always got that done, but they just check for lumps.
yeah, during your breast exam. So when either when you if you go to the OBGYN to get tested or if you get your pap smear. Usually your pap smears are only once every 2 years, but some doctors prefer to do it every year if you getting up there in age. So
Hmm. Because I know this is not breast cancer, but guys have to get their prostate
right,
cancer done, or exam, when they turn
right,
40, which was not an enjoyable situation for me,
yes.
not at all.
A lot of men
uh,
have prostate problems.
yeah.
My grandfather actually has prostate cancer.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
a lot of men have
Guys,
prostate problems as they get
get
older.
that shit checked out.
Mhm,
It doesn't feel good. Nothing about it feels good.
mhm.
Before your doctor does it, it doesn't feel good. But it, these are cancers that if you catch them early enough, you can avoid death.
Yeah,
So, go ahead and get these exams done.
yes.
Wow. So I'm learning so much today, especially when it comes to, because I thought when they did the pap smear, I thought it was just checking for irregularities. I didn't know that it was like they were
No,
checking for
so
cancer.
that's like a vaginal culture thing. So if you want to get tested for like STDs, STIs, that's when they'll do a swab, and that's like randomly or however often you need to get tested. I mean I
Mm,
suggest people get tested after every partner that they deal with. But a pap smear is where they actually you do it either once a year or once every 2 years where they check for like cervical cancer. And that's what
mm.
that's for. And then they do the breast exam with that. So that's not technically like getting tested for STDs or STIs or nothing like that.
Go ahead, Dr. Bridget. You teaching them because you
I'm not
teaching
playing about
me.
my
I
health,
didn't know.
y'all.
And black people, we are notorious
Mhm.
for playing around with our health, and we wait until something gets so bad that we can't recover from it. Take the
Yeah.
time out. If you got insurance, well, pretty much you don't have an excuse for not having insurance now. Obama fixed that. So
Mhm.
you don't have an excuse for not having insurance. So go ahead and just get the checkups done,
Right.
um, and make sure that you're good. Like I'm not. I used to not be real big on going to the doctor, getting checkups. Held off. Went to the doctor. and they were like, "Oh my God, like your blood pressure is skyrocketing," and I was having headaches, blurred vision, and I was just like, "Ah, well, shit, I'm just tired."
Mhm.
Blood pressure and cholesterol was both high, um, and because I didn't catch it early enough, I had to get put on medication.
Yeah.
Like I could have had all of that fixed with just changing my diet, proper eating habits, but
Yep.
I had let it go so long that when I went to go have my eyes checked, went to go get my eye examination, the doctor could see the calcium buildup from the cholesterol in the back of my eye,
Mhm.
and that's how I knew it was bad.
Yeah.
So avoid the medication, like just get the constant checkups. So this way
Yeah.
you can avoid the medication.
I feel like people, how a lot of us like operate, it's like we we want to wait until something bad happens to like do something
Hmm.
about it instead of like living life to prevent things from happening. And don't get me wrong, you're not going to be able to prevent everything from happening. But a lot of these diseases or cancerous things you can avoid by like the things you put on your body, in your body, simply you working out, stuff like that. So I feel like people should take better care of your health because you don't want to just be neglecting yourself and then next thing you know you have a heart attack or a stroke, you know what I'm saying, because you just been living carefree, not taking care of yourself. I do get it, like we live once and it's like you want to enjoy while you here, but it's all about like balance, you know what I'm saying, have a little fun. You can have drinks, you can smoke and stuff, but you gotta have a time where it's like, all right, I'm detoxing my body from this stuff, I'm it can't
Yeah.
be a point where you just having so more fun than you are taking care of yourself because you could like not be here one day because you just having too much fun. Everything got to be a balance.
I mean, it's what we're saying to you to everyone is not it's not rocket science.
Mhm.
You don't drive your car until the engine stops. You get regular maintenance done on your vehicle. Why would you take better care of a car than you take care of your body?
Yeah. Yeah, it said Ange said I was in the hospital in August with a blood clot in my lung. Wow. And it says I'm on blood thinners for the next 2 more months. Yeah. And blood
Wow.
thinners, they're dangerous. Like, I mean, I get it why they give it to people, but they're dangerous too. And honestly, Ange, like the thing with blood thinners, you gotta watch smoking because that's how people end up having strokes. Is from being
Yep.
on blood thinners and then smoking. And that can cause you to have a stroke. So you gotta be careful with all of that. Just try your best ability. You're only human. Try to take care of yourself. Don't neglect yourself. Everybody always want to take care of everybody around them and not take care of themselves. How you gonna
And
take
it's
care of
a
people if you're not here?
and it's amazing how many people get taken out by blood clots. Either blood clots
Mhm.
in their leg, like Angie was saying, in her lungs, in their head. Like these
Yeah.
are silent killers. Like
Yeah.
you really have to have something happen to you to where they check that and they find it because you really most of the time you don't know it's there. Like these are
Mhm.
silent killers.
Yep.
Um, and when you look at young cats, young people who have died from heart attacks and strokes, it's like you look at like DMX. Now, yeah, did he live a pretty risky life? Sure.
Yeah.
But had he gone to the doctor more often, they still could have caught these things before he died.
Right.
Um, Biz Markie died, had a heart attack, ended up in the hospital, ended up dying. Fat Man Scoop just recently died,
Mhm.
collapsed on stage. Like, but if you constantly get these things checked out,
Yeah.
and don't go into the doctor. My sister just told me about this last about 2 months ago. We go into the doctor and we say, "I think I have this."
Mhm.
What does the doctor do? They give you medication, send you out the door. Don't tell them what you think. You don't have a degree. Don't
Right.
tell them what you think, and don't allow them to try to give you things to mask the symptoms.
Right.
They'll
And another thing is like we were saying, like if even if your doctor say, "Oh, something is wrong with it," and they do put you on medication, medication alone isn't going to fix it. If the root of it, you're not changing the root of it. If it was caused because of poor diet and you're not changing your diet, but you like, "Oh, I'm on this medication," that defeats the purpose of the medication. And that
Mm-hmm.
comes with a lot of other things. Like if people are having lung problems, clearly you need to put the smoke down. I understand like people want to have fun, but it's like sometimes things can be life or death. So it's like you really willing to smoke until you're on your deathbed, or if people have bad liver, or you're going to drink on your deathbed instead of putting it down for a second. So I feel like people gotta, like, if you having heart problems, like red meat really isn't good for your heart. So it's
Right.
like you still just gonna eat steak every day knowing that you can have congestive heart failure. Like, you gotta make sure that even if they do put you on a medication, you're not gonna just sit here and be like, "Oh, I'm still gonna continue." Clearly, you was doing something wrong in your body, and I think
Mm-hmm.
the biggest mistake is that people don't listen to your body. Like when your body is rejecting something, listen to it. You know?
Right. Um, and I'm sure you're gonna have a lot more information about this. Um, but when you're younger, you feel invincible. Nothing can
Mm-hmm.
happen to me. Nothing can happen to me. And we go um, months, years, working out, you eating the wrong food. Um, and then you wake up one day and it's like, wow. Now, the reason I said that you would have more information about this because I know that you do really focus on your body and your health and your well being. As a matter of fact, there's not many women your age that really focus on their health as like the way you do. Like
Yeah.
when you talk about your health, like you have facts. Like this is what you have to do. This is what you have. So it's like when I'm speaking to you and we have conversations, I'm like, yo, this is somebody who is well below the age of people that really start to focus on their health.
Yeah.
But if you start early, you don't have the problems later on, or you have less problems later on.
Right. Right. And I mean, don't I'm not perfect by no means, but I one thing I can say is I try. Like I will take myself to the gym. I will change my diet. I think the reason why I feel so passionate is because, like I said, people around me, like I lost my homegirl at the age of 20 from breast cancer. Like she was robbed of her life and she had a son. You know what I'm saying? She didn't even get to see her son grow up. My grandfather, my father's father, who was my whole world, he died in his 40s. Like, and to me, I'm like, it's no reason why he shouldn't still be here.
Yeah.
And that's off of diet and stuff like that. He didn't smoke and he wasn't a drinker, but it was diet. The things you put in your body. So I just feel like, and in the black community with the diet, that's something that it's like I feel like it comes from slavery, like our eating habits. You know what I'm saying? Like we was given the scraps of the pig, and that's why we want pig feet and pork chops and fucking bacon and clogging our arteries and stuff. And then we got this whole soul food thing, which is like, yes, it tastes good, but it's like that's just giving us diabetes, and all, and our eating habits is basically being passed down from generation to generation.
Generation to generation.
And
Yep.
it's no reason why, like my grandfather who's just here, he's 91 years old. You know what I'm saying? And he used to
Blessings.
smoke cigarettes and he put them bitches down on his own. He used to drink, he put that down on his own. Like when every day, like I'll say he might treat himself to something sweet, but it's very rare that he ever eats anything with sugar. He eats salad or greens with every single meal. He consumes like raspberries and stuff every single day. He literally eats for his health. And even at 91, he still gets his ass on a treadmill every single day. That's what less
Wow.
that's what some people even my age don't do. They make excuses all day to not even walk the treadmill for 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like we gotta do better with our eating habits, and we need to teach our children too, because I feel like we are getting sick from what we're eating, and we also like the food, like Nikel says, like the food in this country is horrible. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
at the same time, I understand times is hard. Food is mad expensive. So especially people with children, you looking at it like, I need something that I can afford, something that might be quick because you might be having a busy day. But you also got to think like you don't want your child to become a diabetic. You know what I'm saying? And have these health issues at young ages, you know, before they're even 18, you know, which is what is really happening, you know?
It's and the crazy thing is, so like Nikel said about the food that's like there are foods that are literally things that we eat every day that are banned in other countries just
Mm-hmm.
because of the bad health aspect of it. And the crazy thing is those other countries have universal health. So
Yeah.
everybody's
Yep.
covered by the country. And
Yeah.
because everybody's covered by the country,
Yeah.
they don't want you fucking up your body too much to where they got to pay more money.
Yep.
Um,
Exactly.
I
In
had
the US,
a,
they thrive off of us being sick.
oh, they love our processed foods. Oh my
Yeah.
God, the processed foods is killing us.
Yeah. Because
It's
if
killing
we
us.
if we were all healthy, we wouldn't have no reason to go to the doctor, and then that would put them out of business in the
Mm-hmm.
pharmaceutical. You know what I'm saying? So they like, yeah, feed them everything that gives them every disease known to mankind. You know, almost everything that's in the store is the same thing that give us these cancers and heart conditions and all types of stuff.
And they keep saying, "Oh, we don't know what causes cancer." They try to say smoking cigarettes cause cancer.
Mhm.
George Burns, I don't know if I don't. This might be a little before your time,
Mhm.
but George Burns smoked cigars every day of his life. Died at
Yeah.
like 99.
Okay.
So it's not the cigarette. It's not the tobacco.
Yeah.
Now it is like when you get into cigarettes, it's the carcinogens that's in there.
Yeah.
But since they want to say they don't know what causes it, just
Mhm.
eat healthy. Just
Yeah.
get healthy.
I know
I have.
from Go ahead,
Go ahead.
sorry. I know from what I've seen, like certain things like milk, cow milk, dairy is really, really bad for people. It's bad for men with the prostate issue. And a lot of times
Mm.
these medical companies will tell you the exact opposite. Like, oh, if you having prostate problems, you should drink a glass of milk every day. But whole time, milk is the worst thing that men can drink. That's what will give you those prostate issues as you get older. The same with breast cancer. From what I know, dairy, milk, and stuff, all of that will cause breast cancer. Um, Even people don't want to, and I try not to preach the little vegan lifestyle, but it's like certain meats it will cause breast cancer or even like Alzheimer's. Before they considered Alzheimer's, it was called mad cow disease, but it came from like the meat of like a cow.
Mm.
So like I said, I feel like I try not to preach the being a vegan, but I mean, I would just say fill up on veggies, drink your water, eat your fruit, get your water from your fruit too, but just be a little more mindful. I'm not telling people not to have to enjoy themselves, but everything in moderation.
So when I don't think you ever preach vegan because we've gotten off air and you've pretty much given me the business on on what I eat. But sometimes we just need to hear it from somebody who looks just like us.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so let's throw everything out the window right now.
Okay.
If everybody who watches this show, either watching it live or watch it afterwards, if you ever get a chance to check out Bridget's page, she's working out. Like she's not telling you anything that she's not doing herself.
Yeah.
And she's not preaching, she's teaching. Because there has been plenty of times we've got off the show and we'll sit off air for 30 minutes and she's telling me about things that I'm eating, things that can help me, things that's hurting me. And things
Mhm.
like there's certain things that she told me was hurting me. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Like, oh, say they told you to switch from cow's milk and go to soy milk. And she was like, no, soy milk ain't the best for you either
Yep.
because that's killing your testosterone. And I'm like,
Yep.
oh, wait, whoa, I don't need nothing killing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's some important stuff going on with the testosterone.
Mhm.
So I'm not saying listen to her as the foremost expert,
Right.
but listen to her as somebody who's living it. She's actually,
Yeah.
whatever she's telling you, she's doing.
Yeah, and I've made mistakes, and that's why I know the things that I know. I'm trying to correct my mistakes. Even I've been a vegan, And it's like, even as a vegan lifestyle, that's what I was telling Dawn off camera, that like I made mistakes thinking that like something just being considered vegan or a vegan meat replacement was healthy for you, and it honestly wasn't, you know. Um, so I just feel like people educate yourself, try to get your foods from the earth, you know. And try to eliminate as much processed, sugary, salty foods if you can, and definitely drink a lot of water and eat your water too from your fruits and stuff, you know. But I mean, it's unfortunate how this country like purposely tries to make us sick. But like I said, listen to your body. Like, it's stuff that, even though I don't consume dairy anymore, it's certain things that like I might eat and I could tell like I have mucus. Anytime you feel mucus in your body, you should know that
Mm.
your body's rejecting that. You know, so just you got to start
Wow.
try to detox your body and pay attention to your body when you seeing like, if you having any bad reaction, if you know what I'm saying, like, it's cool to use the bathroom, you know, number two, because that's healthy if you eating vegetables and fruits and stuff. But if you run into the toilet and it's running out of you, something wrong. Like, you know, so listen to your body, you know.
Like a couple of like some things that you've told me, I've already started implementing. But and there's certain things you've told me that my wife is like, yeah, that's what I've been trying to tell you. So there was a few months ago, we went a month of being pescatarian. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We stayed more towards, seafood. No processed foods was in the house, which
Okay.
at first when we did it, I was like, yo, what are we doing? Like, we just bought this food and we were literally throwing it all in the trash. And it
Yeah.
was like, okay, all we have is seafood. Um, and I tell you, our body is mostly water. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know why we reject water, why we don't drink enough water.
Preach.
I tell you, and I can tell you from experience better than anything else. Went to the doctor. Doctor said your body's dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever. Went home, ain't think nothing of it. Still drinking, not
Mm-hmm.
taking enough water. Went back to her a few months later. She was like, you're not drinking enough water. Your body's dehydrated. I'm like, yeah, whatever. First thing that started happening, I had a twitch in my eye. I was like, well, that shit, damn, getting old is silly. You know what I'm saying? Just get
Mm-hmm.
old. That went from a twitch in my eye to a twitch in my thumb. And it would just be sporadically throughout the day. My thumb would start moving, and I could do nothing to stop it.
Yeah.
Went from there to my thigh muscle.
Mm.
I would be sitting driving, and my thigh muscle would just start pulsating.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there with my wife, and I'm like, yo, I think I'm coming down with ALS or some shit. And she's
Yeah.
like, let me start looking this up. And she talked to her mom. Her mom is a nurse, so she
Okay.
feels like by extension, if her mom's a nurse, she's a nurse too.
Yeah.
So her mom was like, you drink a lot of liquor, you have to follow it up with a lot of water because if
Yes.
your body's dehydrating, what's happening is those twitches is your muscles thirsting for water.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so I went 2 3 weeks of 64 ounces of water every day. All the twitching stopped. And I was like, oh shit. So I didn't listen to the doctor the first time or the second time.
Mm-hmm.
And I waited for my body to start telling me I need water. I
Mm-hmm.
need to be hydrated every single day.
Yep.
Now I don't miss water. First
Good.
thing I do when I get up in the morning, I drink
Yep.
water.
That's
I
good.
drink water about midday, and I drink water before I go to sleep because I want to be here. Like I'm not ready to tap out. Like
Right.
I'm really ready to. I'm just starting to live. Really,
Your
I'm
wife
at the
needs
point
you.
of just in. Yes,
Your children need you. Your
yes.
grandchildren need you. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? You want to be lucky enough to see your great grandchildren.
Yes, yes. I want to do what my parents wasn't able to do.
Yeah.
My parents was able to see their grandchildren, but they died way too early. My pops died at 53. My mom
No.
died at 55. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's
I'm
too young.
50. I'm not ready to tap out.
Yeah.
So I know
My
it sounds like we preaching
grandfather,
to y'all.
yeah. My
Go ahead.
grandfather is 91. His sister is 96. And they
Wow.
kicking.
Wow.
They walking. They, you know what I'm saying? My grandfather still drive. Like his sister who's 96 looks amazing. If I showed you what this woman looked like, you would be like, ain't no way. Like
Like I
back
saw the
is
video
straight.
of your grandpops on the treadmill. I'm like, yo, he
Yeah.
inspired me. I was like,
Yeah.
I gotta work out. If he could do it, I could do it.
Yeah. Like it's possible for us to be here, but I feel like between your generation, my generation, and maybe the next generation, I feel like the next generation they're being taught things a lot younger, and they're actually giving the younger kids more access to gyms younger. Like when
Mm-hmm.
I was in high school, they let the football players go in the weight room, but they didn't let no women go into the weight room and work out and stuff like that at school. And then you had to be 18 to get a gym membership. Where it's like now at the gym they're allowing 16-year-olds to go into the gym for free, and work out just for
Wow.
their health. So, I don't know. I feel like as long as like they're being taught to work out and stuff, so as long as we make sure our children are eating healthy, but my generation, your generation, we got to do better with our health if we actually want to be around. Because if not, we're overworking, we eating bad, we drinking a lot, we gonna be gone early, and it's like your family, your children, your grandchildren, your great grandchildren, they all need you.
Yeah.
Like that's the biggest blessing in life is to still be here and teach each generation and enjoy seeing them grow up and enjoy time together.
Yeah. And it's I really just I don't know a new leash on life. I guess at 45, I just got a new leash on life. I was like, okay, I'm gonna start eating more fruit. Well, sometimes I eat sometimes more fruit. Um, I try to act like the vegetables are not my best friend, but it's not nasty. A salad is not nasty. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
It beats McDonald's and
Yeah.
it beats throwing a pizza in the oven because all that stuff is processed
Right.
and so many additives in it,
Sorry.
and we don't know what those additives are doing to us because it's not supposed to be in our body.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You sneak veggies in my food. Yes, you do. So, fuck that. While we talking about that, I ordered some sliders, you know, and it came with lettuce on the side, but I was like, they didn't put it on there already, so I'm just gonna eat my sliders. She grabs each one of my sliders and puts the lettuce in there, and I'm like, if it was supposed to be on there, they would have put it on there. I'm good. Nah,
She
sneaking
not
food.
playing
Oh
with
my
you.
god, sneaking the vegetables in my food. An omelet. I'm like, okay, I just need a cheese omelet. I'm good.
Mm.
Nah, I bite into it. It's cheese. It's lettuce. It's I don't eat tomatoes. Like cucumber, like anything. And I'm like, why is all this in my omelet? I just wanted an omelet. She's like, you gonna eat vegetables
None
every
of that
day.
will hurt you. Even putting spinach in your omelet and stuff, that is
Mm,
no difference in the
that was
taste.
the other one.
But
Yes,
get your greens in.
spinach.
Get your greens in. What's up, Marvin?
What's going on, Marvin? I'm glad you're on. Don't leave yet because I have a big announcement, and it goes for the people who have been rocking with us since we were at 81 subscribers. I just want to let y'all know right now we sitting a little above 860, I think, subscribers. So we gonna have some
Yay.
some some big things going on. But it's for the people. Well, it's for everybody, but mostly for the people who've been rocking with us. So Marvin, don't go nowhere. 'Cause, like, you be coming on, and then 5 seconds later you be bouncing. You ain't got shit else to do. Hang out with us for a minute, bro. Um, but so I might as well do it now. Fuck it. Before we go into the next segment, where we're gonna talk about some domestic violence. Um, so we are almost at 1,000 subscribers, which for us is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Like I sit there and I hit Bridget up like, yo, we just went up another 100. We loving it. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have some contests. We're gonna have some drawings, and we gonna give away some money. I ain't gonna give you no major money. Be easy. Might be $25 in your pocket, but I'll buy you lunch the next day. So we'll talk about that at the end of the show. and how that's going to go down and what you have to do in order to be a part of it. So, Marv,
Okay.
don't go nowhere. Ange, I hope you're still with us. Nikel, you can't get it. um, if anybody don't know, Nikel is actually also our producer. So she produces the show. So you can't get it. But we got some stuff that's gonna be going on. But let's talk about something else that's real serious. Domestic violence.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start this off in reverse.
Okay.
Guys, do not think that domestic violence is only for women. There are guys right now that are victims of domestic violence and they don't even know
Yep.
it. Ladies, know the signs. Know what it looks like when somebody is either trying to mentally abuse you or physically abuse you. Because abuse starts mentally first.
Yeah.
Um, I was looking up the signs of domestic violence, and the first thing I thought about was a good friend of mine, and I was like, damn, he hit six of the different signs of domestic violence, and he don't even know it. He's a grown ass, full blown man.
Mhm.
Um, so let's talk about domestic violence, and not just from a women's standpoint, because it's not just women. It's not.
Mhm.
Um, there are male on male domestic violence. There's female on female domestic violence, and there's definitely
Mhm.
female on male domestic violence.
Yeah.
So let's definitely talk about this. I'm gonna roll through a couple of the signs um, that'll let you know these are domestic violence red flags, so to speak. I just want to make sure you're here with us. That's all. You go ahead and cook. But before we go, what are you cooking anyway? Um, so some signs of domestic violence: pushing for a quick involvement, jealousy, and I won't. I'll take that a step further. Not just regular jealousy, overt jealousy,
Mhm.
controlling behavior, unrealistic expectations, isolation. I'm gonna put a star in isolation. I'm gonna talk about that. Blaming others for their problems or mistakes, making others responsible for his or her feelings, hypersensitivity. Wow, there's a lot of guys that are being abusive to women and don't even know it. Cruelty to animals or children. That's different. Um, use of force during sex. I'll put a star on that one too.
Mhm.
Verbal abuse, rigid roles, and that's basically expects you to serve, obey, and remain at home. Mm. Sudden mood swings, past battering, threats of violence, and controlling behavior using social media or technology. Yeah, there's a lot of people being abused right now that don't know it.
I'm not
That
trying to
don't
laugh. I'm
freaking
sorry.
know. Hey, this is a serious situation,
It
but
is.
damn,
Yeah.
damn. Okay, so anytime ladies and definitely guys and same sex couples, fuck, it goes across the board. If your mate is intentionally isolating you from loved ones and
Mhm.
people who have your best interests at heart,
Yep.
that is the first telltale sign of domestic violence. Because if you don't have anyone to tell, no one's gonna talk to you and go, "You need to get out of that."
Exactly.
Um, and there was another one. Um, well, fuck, hypersensitivity. I didn't know that was a sign of domestic violence, but ladies, if your guy is super sensitive and he is starting an argument over every small little thing,
Mm-hmm.
eh, it's a way for him to get into your head and control how you think and how you behave.
Yeah, being manipulative.
And the more he does that, the longer it goes on. It only takes 21 days for something to become a habit.
Yeah.
So the longer he does it, the longer she does it, now you have a habit of just basically bowing to their sensitivity even when you've done absolutely nothing wrong.
Right.
Um, I have a good friend, and I'm gonna teeter on that good friend because if he was a good friend, I would probably tell him, "Yo, you being abused," but you can't tell guys that. Like guys don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah.
Guys are like, "Nah, I'm not being abused. I'm a man." You know what I'm saying, yeah, but nah. There was at least 3 or 4 of those that I know for a fact that his wife is doing to him, and he's doing absolutely nothing
Yeah.
to deviate from it. I know we've all had friends that that are enduring domestic violence, and some
Mm-hmm.
of us, like myself, we're avoiding that conversation because we don't want to lose the friend, because we may be the only person on. I don't know what happened, but that's okay. We're gonna keep going. Um, because we don't want to lose that friendship.
Yeah.
Because we may be the only person to save them later on. So we're like, I'm gonna be real careful on what I say, but we may need to speak up.
Right. Yeah. Wasn't one of them sexual abuse?
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
So
forcing
I
themselves on you sexually.
yes. Honestly, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I had something like that happen to me before when I wasn't trying to deal with somebody no more, and
Mm,
they tried to like, oh, can we just talk type of thing. And don't get me wrong, I had sexual relations with them in the past, but I was like, I was done with them. I'm like, I don't want to deal with you no more, whatever. And basically, that's exactly what they did. They forced themselves upon me, against my will. They tried to use their strength over me. And I mean, technically, that's like raping somebody, like just because I had sex with you before, that I never consented to having sex.
that's right. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, honestly, I didn't, not to say no one shouldn't, what I'm saying, call the authorities, but I didn't. I just never talked to that person again. I'm like, I let God deal with their karma, and I feel like they did get their karma, but stuff like that is not right. A man should never use his power, and especially if you're not dealing with that person anymore, to sexually take advantage of you.
So just because you say yes, that's not a blanket yes.
Yeah.
No still means no at the moment you say no. Um, I know a young lady who we weren't really doing anything. We were just kind of fooling around, whatever. And because of the things she went through in her past and the trauma, she became real shaky, started crying, no. And I was sitting there like shook, like, oh my God, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
But I didn't know about her past. And I literally got up, grabbed my jacket, and left. But that I missed an opportunity to allow her to talk about her
Yeah.
past traumas. I never spoke to her again. Not so much because she said no, but just it shook me up
Yeah.
because I would never want to be accused of domestic violence or sexual assault.
Right.
So I just distanced myself from them. But what I needed to do at that point was just become a friend and hear
Mm-hmm.
them out, hear what
Yeah.
they've been through,
Right.
because we're all another one of our biggest problems as African Americans is seeking counseling.
Right.
So um, isolation if someone is isolating you from your friends and your family members, that is a huge red flag.
Yeah.
Um, if you say no and they keep pushing, and I'm not saying trying to convince you, that's different. Okay, if you
No.
say no and they're like, you know what I'm saying, baby, you know what I'm saying, I love you, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying
Yeah.
to be with you, that's
Yeah.
different. They just trying to plead their case. Just
Right.
keep saying no and they'll go the hell away.
Right.
But if you say no and they continue with the act,
Yeah.
don't be around that person again, and you should probably contact the authorities.
Yeah.
Um, it's it's so crazy how the generations after us. So I think me and you are about a generation or close to a generation apart. But the
Mhm.
generation after you all,
Yeah.
they have no clue about any of this because no
Yeah.
one's talking to them about this. And the ones that are talking to them, they're like, "Oh, you too old. You don't understand what goes on now."
Mhm.
We have to continuously feed into their minds that these are the things that will keep you safe.
Right.
Um, we went when we was outside the country. We went off the resort, and the only thing I kept thinking was when I ordered my drink, I'm outside the country. I can't trust nobody here.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna sip the drink. And I sipped her drink too. I want to make sure that if anything needs to be tasted, I'm gonna taste it first. So
Mhm.
one of us is in the right frame of mind.
Right.
But when I tell you these young 18-year-old girls was inside, and I call them girls, y'all grown at 18, but you're still girls. You're
Right.
not a woman yet.
Right.
And they were sitting there throwing back shots. It was two young ladies, and my wife was like, "Why are you looking at them like that?" I'm like, "Because no one else is."
Right.
Like they are throwing back shots of Patron like it is nobody's business. And I'm like, neither one of them can fend off somebody that would try to snatch them up right now.
Yeah.
And like the 30-year olds, the 40-year olds, the 50-year olds, like we're looking for shit like that.
Right.
We're like, you know what I'm saying? When we take a sip from our drink, we put our hand on top of it to make sure nobody don't put nothing in it.
You got one friend that's always on, like me.
Always
That's
on
me.
point.
Yeah, always on point, observing everything.
Every little thing. But at 18, you're not looking for that.
No.
You're not looking for that. So we got to teach the younger generation that these are the things that to look for.
Yeah.
Um,
And something else I want to say is that, like, when it involves like domestic violence, like if you know somebody who is experienced domestic violence, um, be patient with them.
yeah,
I feel like people are quick to judge because you might be like, oh, he's so stupid, keep dealing with that, or she's so stupid to keep staying. Like, why would she keep staying? You know, um, that person has been manipulated. Their whole thought
hmm,
process is not, they're not going to think clear. They're not going to think, because a level-headed person would know, like, oh, this is a toxic relationship, this is dangerous, I need to get out. But clearly it's a reason why they can't be in that frame of mind, and it's because they've been manipulated. If they isolate you to make it feel like, look, like they will purposely keep you from your loved ones and then tell you, see, none of them love you, I'm the only
yep,
one here,
yep,
and they'll mentally abuse you, physically abuse you, and then you'll really sit there and believe like you really have no one but that person. And that's why it takes a long time for people who are being abused to walk away and leave. So I would say keep being patient with either if it's your friends or your loved ones if they're experiencing abuse, and keep reassuring them, keep giving them um, resources to get out, pray for them. I would just say don't give up on them and be patient. It's not as easy as everyone thinks it is, to get away from abuse.
yeah. Because when they do make that decision to run, you may be the only person that they can run to.
Yep.
A lot of people are ashamed to go to their family because their family told them when they first got in a relationship, oh, that person is no good for you.
Yeah.
And if you're the only person that stayed, and you might just be staying in the shadows, watching everything happen, but when they're
Mhm.
ready to run, they need somebody to run to, and you
Right.
might be the only person.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes they also don't confine in their family members because they don't know, like at that moment they might be like, all right, I want to leave this person, but they don't know if they can actually do it, so they don't want to feel dumb to tell their family like, hey, this is what's going on, I want to leave this person, and you tend to leave and then you run back, because that's what happens a lot of the times when people are being abused. They run back to their abuser multiple times, before they can actually leave, if it's not from leaving this earth, that person taking you out. So I would say, as a friend, give them advice, but give them advice from a place of like not judgment, so that when it is multiple attempts and I'm trying to leave, they do feel comfortable talking to you about it, because they know that you're not going to judge them if they end up going back, even though we all know they shouldn't go back. It only takes for them to know when enough is enough, you know. So be patient and don't judge them, because no one can ever really see abuse coming, and if you being manipulated, people will love bomb you and stuff. You never know, like, that's not to say you could be a strong-minded person, but you never know people's tricks when they manipulate you, and you could possibly be in that situation one day. And you could have children involved with a person, and you might not really see the signs until after you got 2 3 children with someone, and then you're like, not only do I have to get myself out this situation, but I have to get my kids out this situation. How I'm going to do it, because he's also manipulating me with my children, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yep.
I would just say be patient and be there for people and pray for them and keep giving them resources and do not judge.
Absolutely. So we're gonna go and wrap up with this. Um, so definitely take care of yourself, both physically and mentally, and look out for the people that you love. You know,
Yeah.
um, we ran into a couple, and it we watched what looked like an explosive situation getting ready to happen, and even though we did not know them as friends, we saw the signs, and we had to
Mhm.
separate them and go, yo, okay, this is not gonna work. um so just, keep your eyes open for your friends, your family members, and just make sure that if they're ready to run, they got somebody to run to or somebody to run with.
Right.
You might be the They might not have a car because, once again, isolation.
Mhm.
So they might
Or
isolate
money.
them by
Yep.
one vehicle being in a household. Oh, you don't have no money to go anywhere.
Yep.
You can't do nothing without me.
Sometimes they don't
Be
want you to
there.
work. Abusers don't want you to
Mm-hmm.
work, so you have no money, no escape. They rip you from your independence. That's how they make
Yep.
you dependent on them.
Be there for them. So when they're ready to run, you could pull up with the car, just jump in. You ain't gotta have nothing. The person ain't gotta have nothing but the clothes on their back. Jump the hell in. We'll figure the rest of that shit out when we get where we
Yep.
going.
Yeah.
Um, so once again, we get ready to wrap up. But we're almost at 1,000 subscribers. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we got some giveaways. We got some contests. We appreciate everybody rocking with us
Yes.
because we don't get on here and do this just for our health. But the fact that we got 1,000 people rocking with us will make it. Well, it'll make my head big. Bridges, she kind of level headed, so it'll make my
Mhm.
head big as a motherfucker though. So um, tune in. As soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers, we got some contests, we got
Yep.
some games, we gonna play some things with y'all. But until then, please tune in next week.
Yes.
If you don't watch us live, don't be afraid to drop a comment in. I'm gonna have some information in the comments um, regarding breast cancer awareness and domestic violence. So if you or somebody that you know is going through domestic violence, the number will be in the comments, so you can provide that to them. But until
Like,
next
share, and
week,
subscribe.
yes, like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends. If you're walking past somebody in the street, tell them they should probably be watching this show.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's all love. We appreciate y'all,
Yes, we do.
but we got shit to do, so we gonna get at y'all next week.
All right, y'all.
Later, folks.